It's that time of the week. It's time for the Creator Town Hall here on Studio Live today. It's nearly the 1 year anniversary, in fact, of the Creator Town Hall. Yes, it was about this time, about a year ago, that Jade Starr and myself sat down here and we recorded the first ever Creator Town Hall. So shout out to Jade for that. What have we got on this week? Well, we're talking Logic Pro. We are talking about using new gear. We are talking about failure. And my question of the week is going to be this. What have you failed at in the last week? And what did you learn from it? So if you're watching here live or if you're catching up on the replay, more likely, because we do this at a bit of a weird time, then please let me know. Let me know here in the chat. Let me know in the comments, because I'm going to rant about that a little bit later, but I would always love to hear what you have to say. We will check in with the folks in the chat in a little bit, but a couple of things to get us started here. We got some live show updates. I wanted to talk about this right here up front, is that we've got some different times. And if you're watching this either live or on the replay, in fact, if you're just getting up for the next day and you're in the US or Canada, because you probably, had a good night's sleep and you're sitting there with your frosted chocolate cocoa toast crunch and a coffee, then beware, because we're about to go live with Your Music Live. So in 13 hours time, so by the time this show ends, 12 hours time, that's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern Australian time. It's going to be 3 p.m. for those in LA and the other way around. No, that's right. 3 p.m. LA Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and 11 p.m. London time. Now, I know, I apologize for those that are in those time zones, are European and UK friends. It's not a great time. Your Music Live is a ranting about it. It's not a great time, but it's just the way it's worked out this week, because I've got a few other things going on. I'm going to be on location doing the happy hour. It's going to be all good, but it means we have to shimmy some things around, and we've got an early Your Music Live this week. That's a cool freeze frame, just quietly. So do tune in for that one. That's coming up soon. And then we've got our regular chill hour. We're doing a happy hour at the regular time. And then our GarageBand Weekly will also be 3 hours late. It's almost like I just really dislike the folks in the UK and Europe. I really don't, but just this week, I can't quite manage those the timing of some of those things. So we've got a few things going on that are being a bit later, and that one is going to be kind of super late as well. The GarageBand Weekly, that one I've set for 11:30 a.m. So that one's going to be a little bit different. So thank you all for your understanding, because we try to keep things consistent around here, but it doesn't always work that way. The other thing I wanted to say here is thank you, because we've crossed 105,000 of you subscribers. And I talk about this a lot on this Creator Town Hall, because the Creator Town Hall is, again, it's a show. Sorry, I didn't mention this up front. If you're new to the show, you're like, well, who's this bald guy and why is he ranting? The Creator Town Hall is a show by creators for creators. And one of the things that I preach is that things like subscribers and followers and views and these sort of things, and what's the one that you have on Instagram, or no, friends, Facebook friends? I don't know. But they're vanity metrics. So they don't actually have the direct impact, but they are an indicator. And the indicator that we crossed 100,000 subscribers, and then we've got 5,000 more. Like, I wanted to bring this up because I don't want to underestimate the fact that 5,000 more people have thought that the rantings of a weird bald guy in Australia is worth listening to. So I do thank you, and I do appreciate it. And for every single person who's watched a video, or who subscribed to the channel, or who comes in here and listens to me carry on every week and be unable to say words, then thank you. I do thank you from the cockles of my heart. Let's take it later to the folks who are here live, shall we? We have Kinora Music, who says, hi, everyone. I failed studying prior to my first uni lecture for the year. Procrastination is my enemy. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Russ. I know. Russ, I'm like, Russ is back in the UK, so I better make the shows at just ridiculous times. So our friend Russ can't go there. I realized I haven't prepared myself with my Studio Live today. I don't pimp the merch very much, but if you go to studiolivetoday.com/merch, you can get yourself a Studio Live Today mug. And Jade, can you attest for me that everything tastes better, even Coke Zero tastes better from a Studio Live Today mug? And they're really cheap. I make them at like the the bargain basement price, so you can pick them up for a very affordable price. It's a pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ashley. And thank you. Yeah, so let's go through other folks we hear live. Gregory O'Sullivan, thank you to you. Thank you to Russ for being here. Guzzo of Oz, the one and only Jade Star. Thank you all for being here and for hanging out here. And again, there's our question of the week. What have you failed at and what did you learn? And I'll talk about that in a moment because, yeah, there you go. It does. It absolutely does taste better from the Studio Live Today mug. So we've done the live show updates. We've done the thank you. It is time to get into the actual content here today. Now, my patrons already got a bit of a sneak peek. They got a taste of this one because I've been playing with a new piece of kit. Yes, I've been playing with this little baby here, the iRig Stream Pro, and IK Multimedia were kind enough to give me not only this, but this one too. I have not played with this one yet. This one uses a headphone jack, and I'm going to try this out on my older iPad and iPhones in the coming weeks. But what these are is it's a cross between an audio interface and a mixer. So if you've ever wanted to do live streaming, to do live performances, but you don't want to have the hassle and the expense of a mixer, the iRig Stream Pro is the sort of setup that you should be looking at here. So there's the back of the box, and there's all the stuff going on there. But I don't know why I need to show you that, because I have one set up. Camera 2, would you like to show the iRig? Yes, let's bring the iRig into view. There it is. There is the iRig Stream Pro. Now, I've only been using this thing, full disclosure, for about 4 hours, so I'm still an absolute noob at this. But let's take you through it. Let's take you on a magical mystery tour. We're here in GutCam, so while we're here on GutCam, we'll go over to the solo layout on this side. So let's take you on a magical mystery tour of the iRig Stream Pro. So this is it. You've got a big output knob on the front here. You've got your connector here. Now, this uses the 5-pin DIN, the dreaded 5-pin DIN that IK Multimedia use. So it's fine, it works, but it's really fiddly. You have to be really careful plugging it in. So keep that in mind there. You've got a mute button on the front here. So this is how you know you're a streamer, because you're like, I got a cough. I didn't actually mute. But here's where it gets funky. On the bottom here, you've got a combo jack. So you've got the ability to plug in an instrument or a microphone. Just move my air conditioner remote out of the way. You can do a microphone or a line input there, and you've got RCA. So what I've got plugged in here is a couple of RCA. There it is, the red and white RCA jack. Now this is an unbalanced input, so you're not going to get no balanced TRS kind of stuff going on here, but you are going to get decent quality stereo sound that comes into this little sucker. And this plugs directly in via whatever you want. So we've got a bunch of different options here. You've got, this one is the USB-C because it's plugged into my MacBook Pro that you can't see. It's just off of camera there. So I've got the USB-C, but it also comes with Lightning and USB vanilla out of the box. So it is a pretty good little piece of kit, but the proof's in the pudding, right? We've got to try this one out. Let's take a look over on the side here. We'll go back to GutCam just for a moment so that you can see it from the side. Suck it in, Johns. So on the side there, you've got all your different direct monitor options. You've got your ability to do loop back, so you can play back the audio that's coming back, which is pretty cool. You've got your monitoring options there. You've got your headphone output and your headphone volume. Now, I'm monitoring this. I'm going to try this in a minute, and I'm going to monitor it through my mixer. So we're going to do it a bit differently, but if you're plugging in headphones, you do it there. And over here, this is like all the faders on your mixer, yeah? So this is where you've got all the different things. Oh, and the one thing I didn't mention is that this thing, there's the headphones. This one over here is a headset input. So you can actually use the TRRS microphone on a pair of like dirty buds, like Apple buds or something else, to actually plug straight into there. And then you've got your headphones out there. So I'm using this in a very simple configuration at the moment because all I've got, everything else is set down to 0. The only thing that I've got up here is this RCA, which I've got all the way up to 10. These two are down at 0. So what this is basically, wrong way around, is basically a...
Could you say that again? My apologies.
Wow.
I couldn't hear what you said.
She apologized twice for no reason. Get some confidence, Siri. Come on, you don't have to apologize. You did nothing wrong. So we're going to try this one out in just a moment. But yeah, I've just got the RCA in there. Now, what I'm actually streaming, what I'm actually testing this with, and the reason I've got this is you can't see it, but down on the floor over there, in fact, you know what? I'm going to get really classy here and do this. Down there on the floor is my Roland Cube. And the reason that I have that down there is that I'm testing this as a bit of a live streaming setup. So I want to be able to take my MacBook Pro, I want to be able to plug this in, and then when I'm on the go, I want to be able to stream directly from the iRig Stream Pro. Reason being, this knob is going to be what saves me, because when you're using an audio interface, oh, that feels kind of nice. When you're using an audio interface, you can't really control the audio levels really well. And this is what we're going to test out. So, are you ready? Are you ready to give this one a crack? I'm ready to go, and I've got my guitar. And guess what else I've got? Another mic. And you can hear in the background that we're actually plugged in. So we are going to test this out. Now, at the moment, I'm coming to you through that microphone, and I'm going through this one here. So we're actually going to do something on the fly here. And whenever we do something live, you know what's going to happen? It's either going to work really well and be like awesome, or it's going to be like a train wreck. But either way, I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining. You can hear I got a bit of reverb. Oh. And I got some reverb on the guitar. So I'm going to play my song Murdering Time. And you and I are going to, together, for the first time, test out the iRig Pro. Now, the cool thing about this, you'll notice there, it's got a little monitor light on there. So this is going to tell you it's got low, okay, and high. So that's like a clip indicator. So as I play this one, what you need to do, what I would like you to help with, is to actually see if I'm going to clip. Because you can see as I play here, oh, if it's sitting in the green, we're good. If we get any red, we're clipping. So at the moment, I've got the RCA set to 10. I've got this set just past 12 o'clock on the little iRig output button there. And we can just do a little bit of testing here. So let's come away from this microphone, and I'm going to go into my settings here in StreamYard. You can't see this because otherwise you'd get that weird Inception thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come away from the Zoom driver, and in 5 seconds, you're going to hear me up on this mic. So let's give this a go, shall we, now for the first time. All right, if that was successful, you should be hearing me through this microphone only, and you should be getting a little bit of reverb going on there. And you should now be able to hear my guitar, because both of them are plugged into the Roland Cube amp, and we should be able to give this a little bit of a test run. So why don't we play a little bit of a song here, folks? Listen into the audio quality. I'd love your feedback on this. Check this one. Watch the clip light. Make sure I'm not clipping. And let's give this one a crack, shall we? Only strength is the darkness. Only feeling the pain. Only time is behind me. Don't have nothing to blame. At the end of my tether, only one thing to do. I'm murdering time, murdering time, to save myself and others from the thoughts in my mind. I'm murdering time, murdering time, so I don't end up taking a life. Murdering time. How did we go? Did we come through? So here's a couple of issues. So after testing, you can see there, as we're playing and as we're talking, the audio level that you need. And look, this is just a live music thing in general. When you're talking, you kind of need more volume. And it would be great to not have the reverb as well. But let's just pretend we're doing a live show and you'd be like, hey, is everyone all right out there? Sure, yeah. So it is a little bit lower, right? It's a little bit lower than the level that we have when we're coming through this microphone here, because I've got this set for just me talking. But if I turn this knob up, in fact, I'll do this. I'll show you what happens. Let's just turn this knob up. So at the moment, we're just past 12 o'clock on that knob. If we dial this up to maybe around like 2 o'clock, and now we play, get ready for some clipping. Can you see that we're starting to clip the signal there? So if we go to our solo layout, you can see here that when I'm playing, it's fine. And we've got a nice clean green signal. But as soon as I start to sing along, watch the little red, and you'll hear it. You'll hear the clipping coming in. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I crossed the road and never even looked one way. So yeah, that's coming through way too loud, and it's clipping. But when I'm talking, it's fine. So it's a matter of finding that sweet spot here, finding the balance. And that's why I think this thing, better than a lot of other mixes that have little fiddly things, having this big major knob, ding, hang on, where's my bell? Having a big major knob here is going to help us out because it means we can dial in the right levels. And the other thing you'll see here is I've got the RCA at 10. So as far as my gain staging goes, I've just bringing the signal in at full volume, which sounds nice and clear from when I did my testing before, and then I can just dial in this. So I think just past the 12 o'clock is about right. So if we go like this, because we're all just a work in progress, nobody's got it figured out. Yes, we're all just a work in progress, nobody's got it figured out. See how we're keeping it in the green there? And it's only going down to the blue when we're just talking and not playing. But if we get up to if we play too loudly, we're going to get that red peak clip. So first impressions of this, using it with the Mac here, are pretty darn good. Let's come out of gut cam. Are pretty good. I'm just going to switch back because otherwise you're going to hear me in very reverberant sounds. So we'll switch the audio back over. One moment, please. There we go. We should be back over on this microphone now. We'll throw that one out to the side. So yeah, it's working quite well. Now, I've already done some testing on this with my iPhone, because the other thing you might be thinking is, that's cool, it's a portable thing. Why don't you stream from your iPhone or your iPad? And I thought that too, until I played around with it. And the problem is that StreamYard, that I use for my live streaming here, doesn't really play nicely with external audio devices. It wouldn't allow it in stereo, which is not a huge big deal, but it didn't sound as good through the phone, and the video is not as good through the phone. So I'll have to play around with that a bit more. So I can't completely recommend this if you are looking at this as a device for your mobile devices, which is a bit of a shame, because I thought this could be the ultimate little stream box for your iPhone if you're out there busking and running about, especially since you can plug in either your microphone directly, or you can plug in a line level signal. So the jury's out, but we will be trying this on the weekend. On the weekend? Do people in other countries say on the weekend? This weekend? Let me just turn off the Roland Cube. I'll unplug the guitar. And if you know me, you'll know that I hate having mess. I hate having things all around me. It really sucks. So, yeah, I don't like having all this clutter going on. So I'm desperately looking forward to being able to clean it all up as soon as I'm done with this show here. All right, there you go. Hello to Metalhead Hippie, who likes the big knob. I've heard that about the Metalhead Hippie. Big knob fan from way back. Yeah, it did get a bit loud in there. Hello to Goran Larson. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, I hope the Metalhead Hippie, I hope you're doing well. If you don't know the Metalhead Hippie, go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel because when he comes back, I got a feeling he's going to come back with a bang. He hasn't been doing any live streams lately. He's having a break, which I recommend. One of the things that you need to do if you are failing at something, and we'll talk failure in a minute, is to take a break. And everyone I talk to can attest to this. I've done it. Jade Starr's done it. Metalhead Hippie's done it. Everyone needs a break every now and then. Everyone needs to just take some time to chill and to have some time to themselves because you can't just go all in, balls to the wall all the time. You are going to burn out. And it was weird. I was listening to this. My life's a little bit weird in that, I have different interests, but I was listening to a podcast about a game that I play on the PlayStation. It's called NHL 22. I'm a big ice hockey fan, so I play the NHL game. And not surprisingly, a lot of people in the NHL community are much younger than me and mostly Canadian, which is fine. I don't hold that against them, and American. But they were talking about like a dude called No Sleeves, like Sleeveless Gaming, one of my favorite NHL YouTubers, was talking about the whole fact that people look at what he does and they're like, you get paid to play video games. And he's like, yeah, I do. But and it's weird. He talked about this, and it was a public thing, so I'm sure I can repeat it here. It was on a podcast, and he's like, I went to a therapist, and I talked to her, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, I just don't feel happy. Yet I get to play video games for a living. And she's like, yeah, but what do you do for fun? And he's like, I mean, I play video. She's like, no, that's work. What do you do for fun? And it kind of gave me this realization. I'm like, oh shoot, yeah. Sometimes even things that you start doing for work that you started doing for fun, if you have to, I don't know, do all the things like do all the admin and do all the emails and pay all the taxes and do all the finances and all that sort of thing, suddenly it can become a little bit less fun than when you were just, piss farting about or pissy pantsing about, as our friend Jamie Mallender would actually say. So it kind of gave me this realization that I think that's what happens to a lot of, and you would have seen this, a lot of music YouTubers that get a little bit too sort of buried into the business side kind of forget to create music and kind of forget that they have a community out there that they're serving and that they're creating content for. They get a little bit too built into the whole sales funnel side of things, or they get into the community business groups and things like this, and they're like, oh yeah, how can I get my conversion rates up? How do I get my click through rate on my YouTube channel up? And it's like, what about how do you make sure that you maintain your own sense of personal satisfaction and happiness while serving a community of people at the same time? That's kind of the takeaway that I have from that. So let me know what you think about it. In terms of failure, the reason I mentioned failure and the reason I wanted to go in with that. Oh, did I show this? Did I don't think I actually I talked about it, but I didn't show this yet. Go over here. Go over here and subscribe to the Metalhead Hippie. It seems so weird to just have nothing here on the channel for like weeks at a time. But yeah, so the last little live stream there was 3 weeks ago for the Metalhead Hippie. But I know he'll be back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a link to the Metalhead Hippie down here into the chat. So people, please go over and check out Jeff and the Metalhead Hippie community. It's a good place, and I've met a lot of cool people over on Jeff's channel, including the wonderful Laurie's Mishmosh. And for those special spoiler for those that are watching the Creator Town Hall on tomorrow's YML, Laurie's Mishmosh will be making their debut on the Your Music Live show here on Studio Live today. Yes, the first time we've played a song from Laurie. So that should be a heck of a lot of fun. And we got like 40 plus other songs as well tomorrow. So do not miss that. And it'll be a heck of a lot of fun. All right. So we've had a look at the iRig Stream Pro. I think it's pretty good. You're going to be able to tell me and judge for yourself on the weekend, because I'm going to take it with me. We're going to stream live with it. We're going to be using the 4G connection and the Stream Pro. We're going to be putting it to the ultimate wireless test, and it should be cool. Or it won't be, and then we'll know. But either I'm your guinea pig. That's the way I look at things. Speaking of being your guinea pig, I've been playing around with Logic, as many of you know, and I thought we'd dive in. I didn't put it in the thumbnail, so people are like, where's the Logic at, Johns? I thought we were talking Logic. Well, we are. And I'm firstly going to talk about why I failed, or not failed, but why I haven't got as far with this as I wanted to. I didn't want to. I was forcing the creativity, and this week I needed to take one of those breaks that I was talking about before. I needed to step away from this song to make sure I didn't destroy it, because I like this song and I think this song is cool and I think this song has potential. But I was going to force it. I was going to very quickly jump in here and, slap some drums on it. I was going to quickly mix this. I'd probably go, instead of re-recording this vocal, I'll just comp this take and I'll just use that original one. And, these MIDI tracks don't sound very good, but they'll do. And I'll just go with that. Whereas what I decided was, I'm going to let it breathe. I'm going to let it breathe till next week. So what it means is that I have failed. But guess what? You know what? I've released a song in January. This is my February song. It'll be done by a week into March, and then I'm working on a project for one of the community members here called Tremor Bear, and that's going to be a lot less time consuming. So I'm still going to have 3 full weeks in March to do that if I take a week extra to do this. And you know what it's going to do to my sense of accomplishment and well-being, mental health, and this song? It's going to make it better, right? Yeah. I think so anyway. So for those that haven't been playing along at home, why don't we take a quick look and a listen at this tune? And I'll just sort of, what I wanted to do, I only wanted to do really one thing, and that is to do a faders down remix of this right here, right now, because everything is too loud. And I also wanted to review and probably remove these MIDI tracks, because I tried them. I learned how to use MIDI, and it was a really educational experience, and the MIDI editor here in Logic is actually really cool. That's not MIDI. That's MIDI. It's actually really cool, and I talked about why it was cool in the last video, but I don't like it. In fact, let's play this bit. So I like these bits on their own, so I put in some sort of synth sounds here. Turn the volume up. Especially when the two come in here. And maybe it's the sounds that I chose here, but when we bring these into the mix, change the world, and I know you. What I was doing is adding pads for pads' sake. And what I actually think with this song is that we actually need some more vocal pads. We need some more backing vocals. So that's why I wanted to sort of just chill with this, because I'm going to take this to the beach with me when we go visiting at the beach and listen to it. I'm going to walk around in the sand and I'm going to listen to this and I'm going to sing along to this. I'm going to grab this mix, I'm going to put it on my iPhone in GarageBand, and I'm just going to layer up a whole bunch of vocal ideas, because to me, this would actually sound way more epic than me just trying to put in some virtual instruments. I think if I get some 4-part and 5-part harmonies going over the top of some of these vocal parts, I think it's going to sound a lot better. And I think it's going to help me work out where these drums go and watch a whole bunch of, why Logic Pro rules and other Logic videos so that I can learn more about it. Kenora Music says, never seen Logic before, looking forward to this. Cakewalk user, or about to be, still setting up my studio. Very cool. That is, look, Cakewalk is good. Speaking of Cakewalk, I know I'm jumping all over the place here tonight, but welcome to the Creator Town Hall. That's what it's all about. This is my time where I get to just have some fun and just talk about random stuff. And by the way, we are open to questions. So if you do have any questions, you can do this, by the way, question. And if you're watching on the replay and you have questions, folks, forget about this. I answer every comment at least once. So I may not get into like a back and forth conversation over multiple days and weeks, but I check every comment every day and I answer every comment every day. So I do that by using my phone. Here's exactly what I do. I have this app here. This one here is the YouTube Studio app. There it is. The brightness is too bright. You're not going to be able to see that. I use the YouTube Studio app, and I go to the comments tab down here, and you can see I've just answered a comment there, like the last comments there, and I refresh it, and I see what comments do I have. And I know that if it's these two from 2 years ago that were just comments on a random post I made, that I'm up to date. So I just go through there, and I do that about 2 or 3 times a day while I'm out walking, while I'm doing other things, and that's how I stay up to date. So I say all that to say, if you're watching here on the replay and you're like, oh no, I never get to catch these shows live, I can guarantee you can rest assured, and unless you're watching this in 3 years' time and, we've got 3 times as many comments, then maybe I'd have to, take a break. But the one thing that I've committed to from the very start of this community is responding. If you take the time to leave a comment on a video, I'm going to take the time to respond. Even the nasty ones, even the people that tell me that I sound like Kripke from The Big Bang Theory, we're going to have some fun. My response may be, did you not get enough hugs as a child? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your daddy issues have become such a problem for you, and you vent it by making random threats to people on the internet, but I hope things improve for you soon. pretty much a actual response that I put out one time. What was my point here? I've forgotten. See, I told you, we get off track. Things just go a little bit weird every now and then. Yes, it is. It's still better than 9 to 5 though, even though it's work. Spot on. And don't get you out your tiny little violin for Johns and say, oh, it's woe is you. Oh dear, you have to work a very hard 4 hours a day where you make music and get free gear and stream live. No, I totally get it. I totally appreciate it. But it just goes to the fact that no matter what you do, as soon as it becomes work, it changes. Yeah. Whether you're playing video games, whether you're making music, whether you're live streaming, as much as you enjoy it, it is still work. But I'm blessed and lucky that I actually do. I get up every day and I enjoy what I do. And I enjoy sitting here and chatting to folks. And I enjoy live streaming. I enjoy making music. I just need to balance it. And me rushing for the last 48 hours prior to having a bit of break of this weekend was just not going to help anyone, especially me and my family. So I decided not to do it. Joe Glenn, g'day to you. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Black Covers, Ingo from Black Covers. Did I see, Ingo, was it an illusion, or did I see that you teamed up with the one and only Manny from the Lily Pillies? Let's just see. Black Covers, Lily Pillies. I want to see if this was actually just a fever dream that I had, or whether it actually existed. Nope, it looks like it actually existed. There it is. I'm not going to play the audio because I'm happy to get copyright claim, Dingo, on Your Music Live. But look at this. Hang on, look at that. 302 likes. How many views has this had? Have you? Whoa, 883 views. And you got an engaged community. Look, I'm going to like it. I haven't even watched it yet. You got an engaged community there, my friend. That's insane. 883 views and 896 comments. Wowzers. Look at this engagement level. That's insane. Everybody loves it. You got some big fans over there, Ingo. I love it. So hopefully that's on the... I haven't seen it, so I don't think we're playing it this week's YML, but hopefully we are playing it soon. And you can go over and check it out. So it looks very cool. And Manny is just collaborating with everyone at the moment. He's doing such good things. It is really cool. Reminded me of a song called Lucky by some guy. Yeah, exactly. And even when I was working the corporate wage slave job from the overlord tyrants, and a shout out to my previous employees. No, I was lucky again. How lucky are we that we're walking around every day? We have relative freedom. We have the ability to make money and to earn a living doing anything. There's plenty of people that are not and that cannot. So I do count my blessings on the daily. Don't get me wrong. Yep, there you go. It's a great track. I'm going to have to check it out. I'm definitely going to have to go and check it out because it looks very cool. And Manny is a good dude. He's Australian too. Us Australians, we stick together. No, not really. No. We, but it is very cool to see the cross-continental, just collaborations going on, because that's where we're at these days. You can collaborate with anyone, can't you? It's very cool. So yeah, that's right. We were back. We were over on the Logic project. I knew I was going to get sidetracked. Don't worry. If it's your first time watching this, you'd be like, this dude's strange. He doesn't stay on topic and he talks about random things all the time. Yeah, welcome to it. You do make your own luck. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't believe it's very weird. I'm going to embarrass not embarrass my wife, but I'm going to out my wife here. We both kind of make a little bit of fun of people that believe in there's only one person for people, and that I can't believe that I found my soulmate. I can't believe I'm married to my best friend. Oh, you're the one. You're the only one. It's like, nah, we just happen to hang out at the right place at the right time. Yeah, and in fact, Tim Minchin has a great song. It's called I can't remember off the top of my head. My wife won't be happy because she's a big Tim Minchin fan. But it's like, if I didn't have you, I'd have somebody else. And it's true. Like if I didn't have you, I'd have somebody else. Yeah, because it's the way it is, which is fine. But like as Russ says, yeah, you make your own luck. And, if you want to believe in the power of the universe to pull people together and make people happen and make things happen, yeah, that's cool too. Go your hardest, as long as not hurting anyone else and telling me that I have to think that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, you put yourself in position. It's the old Wayne Gretzky, or his dad, I think it was, Mr. Gretzky, Walter Gretzky, that said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's what I believe in every day. Miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So the more shots you take, and it comes right back to the failure thing that we are talking about before. The more, successful people fail more than unsuccessful people. Isn't that a weird, wacky concept? Yeah? Successful people fail more than unsuccessful people because they take the shot. The only way to get successful is to take shots, fail, learn, and then try again. And you get there. Speaking of failure, let's take a listen to this song. So, if you're just joining us, this is my my track, and feel free to leave your comments and leave your opinions on this one. By the way, I'm just going to play it through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fade us down. So we're going to put all these faders down. Now, there's probably a way. Can I Control A and put all the faders down? No, I haven't quite learnt enough about Logic yet to do that. I'm sure there is a way that I can select all these tracks and put all these faders down, but I don't quite know how to just yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring the bass, and the other thing I need to do is move this bass up under the drums, because bass and drums, that's the way I sort of organize my projects. I put bass and drums, I then put guitars, and I put vocals at the bottom. You may do it differently. In fact, you probably do. Most people do things differently. And the other thing I want to work out is you can color code this stuff, can't you? So we can go name and color. We can go show hard colors. And let's color code these. So let's go bass. What did I used to use? I think I used to use like a reddy purpley for a bass. That looks meaty and bassy, doesn't it? So let's go with that for our two bass tracks. Let's make our guitars red because they go faster, like a light orange red there. So there's our acoustic guitar. Let's drag up our two electric guitars, and we should be able to. Can we just? Yep, we can go over like that. And we can, in fact, we'll make acoustic that. We'll make electric yellow. Oh, God, this is looking horrible now. No, we'll make acoustic electric brown, and we'll make all of our vocals green. This is going to be weird. All right, I've gone nuts. I've lost my mind. No, I don't want that sort of green. I want a more subtle green. There we go. That's the cool. And what's this one down here? Oh, was that my attempted... What is this track? Oh, that was my attempted lead. I've just realised I should make these green because green is the colour of MIDI. So let's make them this dark blue. There you go. Now it looks just awful. It looks like a horrible bruise. It looks like I've fallen down a ravine, and the result is the colour of these tracks. Yeah. I used to make mine a hot dog in mustard for the colour. I'm very much a dad joke. Shouldn't you be showing the mixer window? Yeah, I should be using the mixer window. See, this is why I have people like Gregory O'Sullivan that come along here, because if I hit the X button, yeah, why the heck wouldn't I use the mixer window? Why am I such a doofus? And again, there's got to be a way to select all these tracks and just drop them all down to 0. But I don't know how to. So we're going to go one by one. Oh, joy. And yeah, so I really don't think that I want any of the MIDI tracks, but we'll go there one by one. So let's bring up our drums here so you can refamiliarize yourself with this track. It's just a drummer. It's doing a very basic thing at the moment. Let's bring up our bass. There's our drums and bass. That bit sounds like bit Red Hot Chili Peppers. How long, how long? All right, let's bring our guitars up now. So our acoustic. Our electrics. Electric on the left. On the right. A little bit more on those electrics. Just getting a static mix going on here. A lead vocal. Hey girl, do you have that's our doubled vocal. The way we're going just isn't okay at all. Now these vocals. Hey girl. These vocals here, last time I was playing around with this, I decided that I wanted these to be like a doubled vocal and for it to be like a stereo sound. I kind of don't like it. Let's take a listen. Hey girl, we need to do a better job. I made a promise that I'm going to keep. Hey girl. So I don't like it like that. I want this to be one. So if we just put the volume down on that one, I kind of want this to automate between the panning. We do have automated panning, don't we? Here in Logic. Should we see if I can on the fly work out how the heck to do some panning automation? Let's just zoom in on this sucker. So what I really want is for this first call, that one to be on the left, that one to be on the right. So let's see if we can on the fly learn automation. I'm right clicking it here just to see if there's an easy thing. I'm probably not going to be able to do this, am I? I'm going to need to go and watch a tutorial to work out how to automate. This is the main problem I have with this is you can do everything in Logic, but you have to learn how to do it. Yes, you do have auto pan. Derek Smith is here. Derek Smith might be the one that can point me to where I can actually do my automation here. Because if I'm remembering back to when I used to use software that had a mixer like this, you basically pull it up here and you can like basically use this to do like you can record automation with audio like you can actually record it in, you can actually like ride the panning knob and you can record it that way, but you should also be able to draw in your automation. I've just never learned how to do it. It may be something for another day because needs reverb on that little vocal part to push it back behind. It does need a lot more reverb as well, doesn't it? Because it needs to sit back behind. So let's just put it in the middle for now. We'll come back to this later. We'll just go 0. I'll learn how to auto pan. Hey girl, yeah, so this one needs to be swimming in reverb, doesn't it? So we can either do that by adding it directly here on this, or we can increase how much is going to these buses. So bus 3 and bus 5, which is this one. So this is bus 3, which is that's our space designer there, which is this stuff here. Long ambience. Yeah, that's probably the one. So why don't we just try as a bit of because I don't use Logic very much, let's just try sending a bit more to bus 3 of this one. So we can turn it up there and just increase it and see what this does out of the gate. Maybe not. Yeah, so we need to play around with that next time. But let's just try it. Whoop! I moved something. Don't move things like that. Let's just turn up the other one. Yeah, it needs a delay as well, doesn't it, in that section there. But let's just turn the volume back down a little bit so we get that. Now, in the second time around that it does this, let's zoom back out. All right, second time. All right. So I think that's we've made it look like some sort of delicious dessert or a bruise, and we've got it at a much more respectable volume here. Just below the rewind button. All right, so automation's up over here, is it? Let's see if we can learn it. Let's see if we can give it a crack. So we'll just we'll hover over. If we hover over, does that tell us? Is that anything to do with it? No, that's different. We'll do it. Is this automation? Is this automation? Is this your thing? Oh, hang on. There it is. Yeah, that's what it is. So we can go. We'll do it as right. Warning. Right? No, we won't play around with this. You know what I'll do? I'll go and watch. Oh, there we go. We could do that. So that's our volume automation. What if we want to do panning? Volume pan. Oh, hello. There you go. So we've got volume panning. We can put a point there. We can put a point there. Can we make one side and one the other side? I used to know how to do this. You wouldn't think it. Oh, I need one in the middle. You wouldn't think it, but I used to use Reaper, and I used to have a lot of this stuff down pat in Reaper. I could do all sorts of complicated automation and panning and just effects automation, and then I started using GarageBand, and I lost all ability. All right, let's just see if this actually did it. Hey girl. Left. Hey girl. There you go. I did it. There you go. The blind leading the half blind. I like it. All right, we'll just read it a little bit like that. So that's kind of cool. And if we watch this on our mixer, up down here, we should see it actually doing that as it goes through that section, shouldn't we? Oh, zoom out. Zoom out. Other way. There we go. Change. Hey girl. There it is on the left. Hey girl. Right. Hey girl. Hey girl. It does look like a rainbow cake. I like it. So we've got some work to do on this one. But as you can see, the reason that I wanted to take a break on it and not call it a failure is because of those reasons. Oh, here we go. We've got the I'm wondering how long we would get before we get some sort of issue like this. And I was not hoping it would happen tonight, but if it could happen tonight and not in the morning, that would be great. It's the first time that we've actually had this issue for a really long time. So let's just see if we can get ourselves back together again. Everything's cool there. I'm going to do a quick speed test to see. I've done a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. I was going to talk about this, and then I'm like, no, I won't jinx it by talking about it. I'll just go with it. But yes, definitely when I'm sharing my screen, and I'm doing that. In fact, let's bring this back across, so I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Whoop, over to here. I'm just doing a speed test to make sure that it's not actually the upload speed, because that seems to be the main problem, and then we'll switch over. Sorry for the choppiness. All right, as soon as I hit the speed test button, it seemed to come back. It's like, before you test and you say that it's bad, we're going to fix it for you, Johns. So yeah. So I was telling me it's all good then again. So that could just be an isolated thing. But yeah, for our Australian fans, the NBN, it's a thing. It's a place. But yeah, if it should be all good now. Can I get some thumbs up if everything's good? A bit like that. Looks like we've all come back here again. So I try again. I've tried everything. I'm on Wi-Fi tonight. I've tried it through the network. I've tried every possible function of anything. I'm at the point now where I'm considering, this is going to sound stupid, I'm considering getting like high-speed 5G wireless here as well, so that when that happens, I can just fall back, like literally paying another $50 a month for a second broadband service, because the NBN has become so dodgy and it happens so often. It's actually not. I still take it with good humor, because look, we live in the future, and we went 47 minutes without a single problem, like streaming 1080p video across multiple cameras. Don't forget, Gut Cam is still here, streaming my gut 24/7. So we've got the ability to do a lot of cool things here. So I don't get myself too uptight, but at the same time, you know, when there's problems and you know what they are and they happen, you're just like, whatever, that's the thing. But when there's problems that you can't identify that happen randomly for no reason, none at all, and you cannot ascertain why they happen, that sucks, because I'm trying to run a professional show here. I'm trying to do my streams and it just keeps happening. But what are you going to do? All right. Yeah, NBN, I know. We're lucky here. Like, literally, it was only 3 years ago that NBN, like, there was no, unless you had cable internet, which was we had DSL. So we were running over copper wires, and I was getting 1 megabit upload. Like, I just did my speed test, and I'm getting 23 megabit up, and I'm like, oh, that's just good enough. But yeah, not cool. All right, we've got a couple more things to go. I just wanted to talk about, we're just going to, excuse me, we'll save it. Too much Coke Zero. We'll save out of this one. Here, we'll go to File. We'll save it. And we'll close the project. I wanted to show you a couple of things, not Ingo's video, even though that's very, very cool. But we've got some cool things coming up here in the next few days. So as we talked about before, Your Music Live is now live in like 12 hours. So if you're just joining us here late and you want to make sure that you get a reminder for that, I'm going to share this one over here into the chat. So the reason I need to go to bed soon is that I need to get up and get ready for Your Music Live. So we've got 40 plus very cool tunes. We're going to be playing 2 hours of your best music. So set yourself a reminder now and be ready for Your Music Live. We then have the happy hour. We're going to be doing the chill hour. Yeah, we're going to be chilling out. I've got the beach in the background there. We're going to be using, again, where are you, Gut Cam? You want to come back over here, Gut Cam? There you go. We're going to be using this thing to put it to the test properly and see how that goes. So we'll be live on the usual happy hour time there. Yes, YML is not today, but well, yes, today for you, Ingo. It is happening later tonight, depending where you are in the world, or tomorrow morning. But yes, YML a day early. So, yeah, apologies for that. I already apologized earlier that it's going to be later as well. So it's going to be 3 hours later than usual. So it's 11 p.m. for you, Ingo. So, yeah, if you get, send me an email if you want, because that new track looks killer. Looks really cool. So if you do want that one played this week, otherwise we can save it for next week. Since you're here live, since you're here on the Creator Town Hall, I was talking to the patrons today and I'm like, it's not that you get preferential treatment per se, but if you're a very engaged member of the community and you just happen to be around a lot, maybe your song gets played a little quicker. That's all I'm saying. I think it's only fair. GarageBand Weekly, we're looking at recording vocals. So the one thing that we will do is we're going to start working on Bear's project in GarageBand Weekly. So if you saw last week, I started recording, started sort of playing around with some vocals. We're going to finish writing the vocals and then we're going to record. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go through like the vocal presets in GarageBand, some of my tips around using things like distortion, compression, how that all works, and some third-party plugins as well. So that should be a bit of fun. And then we have, what have I missed? Yeah, Your Music Live, Happy Hour, GarageBand Weekly. Then we've got a couple of really, really cool guests coming up on this exact show. So you don't have to listen to me rant by myself, because next week, for the big 50th episode, we are celebrating. Look, I've got the Irish flag colours in there and everything. We are celebrating by bringing in Frigsy, someone who's been around. Frigsy from the Messy Room Sessions. He's been around the channel for a very long time. He's a patron and a wonderful dude. I've never spoken to him, so we've exchanged messages and emails, just like most people, but we've never had a conversation. So we're going to have our first conversation right here on next week's show, which should be a lot of fun. And then 2 weeks later, or in a fortnight, as we like to say here in Australia, guess who we've got on the show? Yeah, it's the one, the only Andy Goldsby of Indigo Sunset. So for 52, for the 1 year anniversary of the show, of Your Music Live, we have Andy Goldsby. And next week, yeah, I don't actually have a guest. It'll probably be Jade Star. What's that? Like the when you got like a talk show host, it was who was it? It was Letterman, or it might have been Conan O'Brien. That it was Conan O'Brien actually. That whenever, because they were in New York, whenever they didn't have a guest or whenever a guest pulled out, They Might Be Giants would just come in and play. And that was the coolest thing. So yeah, you'd see They Might Be, like, you'd see them just like rock up and just play a song like completely unprepared, because whenever someone cancelled, they were like, oh yeah, we just live like 3 blocks away from here. So Conan would just call up and they'd be like, John, we need you to come down and play a tune. They'd go and play on the Late Show. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought Frigsy was to be this AM. No, Frigsy's in March. Frigsy is next month. Well, yeah, next month, but next week. So that should be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, again, the one and only Andy Goldsby. And yes, he's looking suave there. He said he needed to go. Oh, wrong button. He said he needed to get some new photos done. Because don't forget, he's a marathon man now. And you know what they say about people that run marathons? They're like vegans. How do you know if someone's a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. How do you know if someone's run a marathon? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Right? No, I jest, I joke. I joke because, remember, gut cam. No marathon running going on around here. All right, that is going to do us for this particular show. I hope you had fun. I know this one's always a bit random, but it's one of my favorite times of the week because we just get to shoot the breeze, shoot the schnitzel, and have some fun. And if you like this sort of low key, I'm not going to lie to you, banter, then you can join the Patreon crew because this is what a Patreon live is like. Just this random, spewing of thoughts and jumping around from thing to thing, looking at gear, looking at software, looking at, attitude and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of fun that we have over there, and it's a great community. And if you're not already a patron, please consider becoming one. I would really appreciate you. All right, we're going to finish off early here tonight, 5 minutes early, because I got a lot of lates. I go overtime a lot, so we're going to actually finish up. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Joe, Glenn. And I didn't mean to say, by the way, you're not an afterthought, Jade, but I think it would be cool to get you back on the show in the next few weeks because, again, it has been a year since we sat down here in this very room, back when the blue couch and the treadmill were here, and had a yarn. So thank you for that. Thank you to Kinora as well. And as we say at the end of every show, oh, you know what? There's one more thing I wanted to check. Is Mike from Creative Source? Is he got his Fix My Mix show? Is that tonight or is that tomorrow? There it is. It is tonight. Okay, so there you go. And he's got some cool people on there. In fact, he's only got one cool person, but he's extra cool. He's got Chris Salim. So if you don't know Chris Salim, he is excellent. Look, let's like this now. Let's share this. Let's copy this over to the chat. So if you're watching this and it's only just an hour after this show, jump on over to Creative Source. And by the way, as you may have noticed, Mike has crossed over the threshold. Where is he? Where does it say? See, I don't even know where it says. There it is. 100,000 subscribers. So Mike has crossed over to 100,000 subscribers. He does some great stuff, and the Fix My Mix concept is very cool. So in 1 hour's time, go and check out Mike at Creative Source if you're looking for some more saucy live shows. Thanks for being here, folks. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and keep creating. I'll see you at YML in 12 hours' time. Bye for now. See ya.